We're live. This is the Comic Hall and Round Table Discussion. I am your host, Matt O. The other host, Chris is in the building. The other host, Xavier Randall is in the building. The other host, Al Rainey is in the building. And the other host, after recovering after a long night of intoxication of hip hop, Paper is in the building. Fellas, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm good. How about y'all?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing fine.
Well, let's see how everybody's doing after this first topic. First topic of the night on the show. Somewhere or another, they found Jamie Foxx to bring him back for the next Spider-Man movie. And I asked the Tyler Slug for who, for what. So,
I just had the Infinity Gauntlet. Where is it? Go ahead and
put it on.
We need to just go ahead and just snap him out. We don't need him. We don't need Jamie Foxx again.
Chris, we're going to let you. Yeah, you can go ahead and start it, man. We'll let you start this one off, man.
I appreciate a good comic book movie. Like I said forever ago in my first time being on the panel, if you don't support the bad ones, we can't get the good ones. So you have to see them, so that way you can talk about them. You can let as consumers for comic books, we are poised to always have our voice heard with our dollar bill when it comes to the movies, the memorabilia, the comic books themselves, and everything else. And this is one of those times when I wish we had some kind of heads up, because whether you want to blame the movie or the version of Electro he played, Jamie Foxx did not do well as Electro. And I understand that people, I believe in giving a second chance. I understand that, because let's look at it. Chris Evans became Captain America when he was bad as the Human Torch. Ryan Reynolds was horrible as Green Lantern, but everybody loves him as Deadpool. So I get that second chance. So
don't forget Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael B. Jordan, right? So maybe he was horrible as the Human Torch. Maybe nobody needs to be the Human Torch, because that's two people that maybe we just need to.
But you know what? It wasn't bad.
Right? Maybe
Chris Evans wasn't bad at all, though.
Yeah, I didn't think he was bad.
But maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe that Jamie Foxx coming back, he shouldn't be Electro again. Because obviously it seems that in the Marvel universe or in the comic book universe, when it comes to movies, actors do better when they have that first round and they do terrible, and then they get that second chance and there's somebody else. So maybe he should be somebody else. Like maybe he should be Robbie Robertson. Maybe that's who he should be, Matt. Maybe Jamie Foxx should just be Robbie Robertson and working in the Daily Bugle, giving Peter Parker advice and not being a supervillain.
Yeah, that's what they should cast him as. Is that? I just, me personally, for one, I didn't too much care for those Spider-Man movies. They're not as bad as that third Spider-Man movie, but they're not too far away from it.
Everybody loves a dancing scene.
I think Andrew Garfield are better than Tobey Maguire, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he looked closer to high school age than a 35-year-old senior in high school.
Hey, man, he was taking remedial classes, man.
He was held back.
That makes it even worse for Peter Parker.
Social promotion.
No kid left behind.
Sean, you over there, man. What you think of Jamie Foxx, man? That's your boy.
No, not as Electro. Not as Electro. Like, I despise him being Electro. Oh, damn, you put me on big screen.
let her rip, champ.
Man, look, I like Jamie Foxx, but I haven't seen anything interesting from him since probably, that movie with Gerald Butler. Damn, I can't remember the movie, but
Law
the name.
By Decision.
Yeah, Law by
Django?
That was a great movie.
You ain't like Django?
I like Django. There were certain things I didn't like about it. Like, I didn't like the music placement and, the overly bloody stupidity of that shootout. But,
that's a Tarantino movie either way.
I felt that he was outshined by other actors in that movie. DiCaprio, Samuel Jackson, and Chris Wall.
Those are heavy hitters. He's supposed to be outshined by them. But
you the star of the movie, and yet I like the other characters more than I like you. You know, that's why as much as I like Django, I like it more for the others. And that damn Leonardo DiCaprio meme is just flying all over the place. But
I ain't mad at you for that. I ain't mad at you at all.
But him as Electro, I just was like, the character was written poorly. You know, like the whole motive of him becoming Electro, I didn't care for, and just the way he presented as the character, just it was all wrong. You know, I did not see him as Electro, and he didn't utilize his acting ability to play the character to the best of his ability. He played it to what the script gave him, and it was horrible. So if you struck out there, why are you going to go back to it? You know, it's like a battle that's 0 for 4, and, you know, you down to 2 outs, and he's your last remaining option, and he struggled all game, and you like, is he going to do it? Is he going to save the day? And he just flies out to end the game. So
he might be they Rudy.
No, they've already packed up the gear, the bats and the gloves.
Put him in, get a sack.
No, they head into the dugout.
What if they give him the classic Electro giant, you know, star electric boat helmet thing?
Oh, man.
No.
So look at it like this, though. So when y'all saw him as Electro before the movie came out, were y'all excited to see him and what he could be? Or y'all just saw him and were like, oh, damn, him? Because when I saw him...
I wasn't too thrilled when they casted him. You know, and we know how when it comes to casting, they're like, all right, I'm not thrilled with the casting, but let's see how the movie is and let's see how he do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to the movie, it's either he does great, he does average, or he does poorly. You know, if you're average and like you have some redeeming qualities, but you know, some of the writing lets you down. But when the writing is poor and you don't really elevate it to it, then, you know, I mean, look at the guy who played Sinestro in that Green Lantern movie. He was the best thing in that movie.
Yes.
And that movie
he was.
That movie was horrible.
Yeah. He was the best thing, followed by Angela Bassett.
That movie should have been buried with the ET video game.
But see, I know with Jamie Foxx, he's been in a bunch of decent movies since then. He has grown as an actor, just like who would have ever thought that The Rock would be who he is after the Scorpion King. You know what I'm saying? When you look at movies like that, you wouldn't think he'll be a decent actor. Like, he is a genuine comedian now. Not an action star, he's a comedian. I don't care what nobody say, and he's damn good at it. But
he was a comedian since wrestling, so that was his calling call.
True. But like, I honestly think Jamie Foxx, I'm not taking up for this man by any means, because he was written horribly. The direction that they gave him was terrible. You know, if they were gonna make him Max but blue, they should have never had him have the accident to turn into Electro.
Right.
But when we're sitting here thinking about the MCU, I kind of sit back and I put faith in them. You know what I'm saying? We have way more good movies than we do bad movies. So depending on how they write it, I think it's worth giving them a shot. You know, just like how y'all mentioned earlier with Chris Evans, you know what I'm saying? Who would have thought he would be the best Captain America that we possibly ever see in our life? You know what I'm saying? When we saw Michael B. Jordan cast as Killmonger, we didn't know that we were going to be like, damn, why the hell y'all killed him off? He was one of the best things about the movie. Well, to me, he was the best thing about the movie. But like, just seeing what they can do in the twist, and maybe even if he is the same Electro, if he survived all this time and cross universe, who's to say that they won't make him a more villainous character and he has growth as that, like with the hatred that he's built up over time. So we don't know, because we don't know what aspect they want to go with.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, everybody. We appreciate it. We really do. I didn't respond in the chat because I had a lot to say about it. I'm reading what Barbarian Kung Fu said. I'm sorry, Barbarian Kung Fu. Everybody has their own thought process. I would rather see Spike Dudley as Electro than Jamie Foxx. I would rather see Bobo Brazil, Coco Beware as Electro than Jamie Foxx. He didn't do it for me, man. I'm sorry. I just
Fast Willie Jackson.
fast or slow Earl Jenkins. It don't matter whichever one. I mean, it just he just didn't do it for me, man. And I just think that was just Jamie Foxx got that role off the strength of the roles that he had come off of prior to that movie. He probably thought when he auditioned he didn't get the role. He just did it for the hell of it. I wasn't convinced. Like, for me, throughout the whole Spider-Man movie process, as far as all the Spider-Man movies, there's only one villain that has, well, actually two, I'm sorry, that has really come off across as being convincing to me. One was Alfred Molina, and the other was the guy that played Sandman. I can't remember his real name. Those were excellent casting choices to me, in my opinion.
Ain't it Hayden Christensen or something?
No,
that was Anakin from Star Wars.
That's Anakin. I can't remember the dude's name, but he played in a couple of comedies on TV. But they've nailed it when it comes down to those two as far as villains. Jamie Foxx just, I don't know, man. It's the overall character, the way he acted, the way he looked as a nerd. It just, to me, it was just too contrived. It was like he was trying too hard for me. And it's like that role didn't fit him naturally, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not taking away anything from his acting acumen, because the man got acting chops. Ray, what was the name of that movie he did with Tom Cruise?
Collateral.
Excellent movie. I mean,
it was Thomas Hayden Church, by the way.
Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church. Thank you. The man he's got the skills to pay the bills, but nah, man, I don't. He may do it. I mean, if he comes back, I'm more curious as to seeing how they're going to develop the Sinister Six. So I guess they're going to develop the Sinister Six around him. But I wasn't too enthused. But I mean, he might come back like X said and knock it out the park. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. All we can do is wait.
Yep.
And I think they kind of debunked it as far as him being in Spider-Man 3. They just said him in the MCU later on. I think people jumped the gun on that. Well, they still talking about Kraven being the main character in 3.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, last one it kind of ended. It was pretty much kind of almost set up for Kraven.
But we live in a time with nothing but rumor mills now. So
right,
every time something comes out, it's a rumor mill. I mean, like Keanu Reeves has been rumored to play every superhero and supervillain in the MCU for the past year. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, speaking
the newest one is him as a Ghost Rider, I think.
Yeah.
Man, in the same day they said he's gonna be Ghost Rider and Kraven in the same day.
He's gonna be the Kraven Rider
and Moon Knight.
Yeah, before that was Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Spectre Kraven Rider. All right, so let's move on here. We've got Iman Vellani has been cast as Ms.Marvel for the Disney Plus show. And all I can say is if you did not get your Ms.Marvel books,
you out.
You are shit out of luck, because those books are going to probably go, especially point one is probably going to go through. Well, it was already going through the roof. It was going through the roof before this. So, I mean, now it's just going to be one of those deals where everybody's trying to scramble to get Ms.Marvel. Number one. Thoughts on that, man? We got Ms.Marvel coming. I know that everybody was supposed to be an initial bump there due to the video game. Game didn't pan out too well, and so follow up. We got this.
Do y'all see that?
What's that?
Y'all see what Tommy just said?
Yeah, I'll drop it there.
Dr. Manhattan is supposed to be Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight. Couldn't help myself.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh no, Daniel Radcliffe, huh? Harry Potter gonna be.
Damn, did I say? Damn, I'm getting all my people confused today. I'm about to log out the show. I'm getting everybody mixed up. I'm I literally thinking,
Stay.
damn, whatchamacallit.
Stay Puff, your thoughts, Miss Marvel, man.
I thought it was a fine casting. I think, I never really seen anything that she's done, but just by look alone, I think she has the look and the potential to be
Static.
God.
I think she has the look and the potential to really, knock it out of the park. And of course, this is Marvel, and we're talking about, the Ms. Marvel series. I think Marvel's really going to do a good job in promoting this show up. I mean, the character has been fairly great in the Avengers video game that recently came out, as a featured character. So Marvel's going to go full head of steam with pushing Ms. Marvel, this Kamala Khan character. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I enjoyed the first omnibus that I have of the Ms. Marvel run, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think she's primed to reach the youngsters, man. She's like a character that's like perfectly made for young readers and young viewers. Chris, your thoughts, brother?
I've been a fan of Kamala Khan since her comic started. Like, hands down, I think it's a really great character, and the reason I've always been a fan since she started is because Kamala Khan, the way that they write the character, and the way the character was created, and the way she's presented in the comic books, is that it gives us an insight. Because if you've never read it, the Marvels comic that was done by Alex Ross and a few other people is all about how the Marvel universe affects normal everyday people. And Kamala Khan gives us that, but then takes it to the next level because she grew up and is a fan of the Avengers and Captain Marvel and Iron Man and all of them. She was a fangirl. She loves these heroes in her world, and then she becomes an Inhuman and gains these powers, and now she's one of them. So we get that kind of that insight of what it's like to go from being, a regular everyday person to getting the superpowers to now you're running with these heroes who you've always idolized. It's like being a speaker on any type of subject, and then all of a sudden you're sitting at the table with these people you've always looked up to. And you see it really more in the Marvel Avengers video game when you're playing and you see her as she freaks out when she sees like certain items that she's recognized from superhero battles, and she kind of fangirls out and has that moment that we've all probably had in the real world when we see like that one issue we've been hunting or that collectible item we want or the pop, for X that you've been looking for, and you have that moment of just like, this is my holy grail. This is that thing I've been wanting in life, or to see and to finally get your hands on it. Here we have a character who gives us the vehicle to see through her eyes what it's like to be shoulder to shoulder with this pantheon of gods, literally with Thor walking around, and her reactions to those kind of things. And I think it's really great that we're getting that kind of visceral insight for a live action, as opposed to the cartoons were great, but to see that coming live action, and then to see it through not just, oh, it's another white character, or it's another black character, or it's another Chinese character, to see on the aspect of, here is a first generation Muslim born American citizen dealing with the aspect of, much like with the X-Men, you are every day going out here helping people who don't like you because of who you are, because of your skin color. And she still goes out there and strives to be a better person. Like you said, Matt, she is a great character for a generation of kids who are struggling to find their place and to see themselves, represented somehow in some way. And here we are, and we're going to have that, especially with an actress who, the reason you haven't seen her in anything, Sean, is because she has no IMDb page. Like, she has been in nothing. She's a completely new actress coming to this part, making her mark on the world with this. And I think it's going to be excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for clarifying that, because I didn't know who she was. But I mean, as far as it goes, it's a good thing that they finally cast her. She looks the part. The biggest question that I have is, being that they've casted this show, are they going to revitalize the Inhumans?
Oh, man. One can only hope.
Specular.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you think about it.
Fantastic Four.
I mean, she is an Inhuman. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
It's true.
they gotta explain that some kind of way at some point if this show is gonna have some legs. So if you're bringing her in as a superhero, she gotta have an origin story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are they going? Is this Marvel's way of actually introducing or reintroducing the Inhumans back into the whole deal? You know, that's my big thing. But I mean, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know, I give it a try. See what it's all about.
Hopefully she stays Inhuman. They don't do like they did with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the movie and turn them into being, you know, to take them from being mutants. You know, hopefully she stays an Inhuman.
Yeah, that's Marvel's biggest misstep was what they did with the Inhumans. Like they was looking to put them out as a movie, and they kept getting delayed until they said let's just put it on TV. With the first 2 episodes being IMAX, and that was the worst decision they ever did. You know, if you was gonna do Inhumans, you should have just went full bore with it. You know, to really push that we're gonna do this Inhumans movie. And it was a disservice to them characters. A lot of people like those characters. You know, I'm not personally an Inhumans fan, but I know they're important in the Marvel universe. So for them to do them like that, it was a bit disappointing because they have an impact in the Marvel universe, and it's a big part of Mrs. Marvel's creation was that the terrorism gas. So
I agree. I mean, I think like Black Bolt is one of the most powerful superheroes in the Marvel universe.
Man.
And what they did to him in that TV show was like shopping at Neiman Marcus and then going to the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a travesty on the character. They should have just followed suit like they intended on doing and had that Inhumans movie to come out. I think it would have actually fared a whole lot better than the TV show did. But you know, maybe they'll redo it. I mean, considering they're bringing Kamala Khan on the scene, it's a possibility. We might see a reboot, you know, movie wise.
They should have did better casting on the Inhumans overall.
I mean, they should just put a lot of effort into that, man. I mean, that was like watching, you know, I can't even think of nothing off the top of my head, man. It was that bad. That was a horrible show, man.
The thing
that was
is,
like Night Rider 2000.
They focus so much on Maximus. Wasn't his name Maximus?
Maximus, man.
The brother.
Yeah, they focus so much on him that it made you, first of all, horrible casting because people still hated him from Game of Thrones. So regardless of whatever role you put him in, they gonna hate the show regardless. Even if it would have been great, they would have hated him just because of him being Ramsay Bolton. But if they should have focused on everything else besides the Inhumans, I think Black Bolt, Al said it best. I mean, it was a travesty. They had him on screen entirely too much. You know what I'm saying? We all know who he is. They should have focused on all the smaller characters to bring them, get them some shine. But I'm talking about the Inhumans now. But Kamala Khan, I mean, I know who she is. I don't follow her like that because I'm into Marvel, but not that deep into Marvel to know all her ins and outs. But the only thing that scares me with y'all saying that she's new. If this role is successful, I hope she doesn't go the route of Hugh Jackman, where nobody knew who he was until he was Wolverine, and then as his popularity grew, Wolverine became him and his depiction of it. So I hope she doesn't do that with Kamala Khan.
Right.
All right. Let's move this train on. And when I saw this topic, the first person on the panel I thought about was Sean. I said, man, he'll enjoy this topic here tonight. Netflix is developing a Conan the Barbarian TV show. Now, if it's one thing I have faith in, is Netflix. The Witcher's been good. There was something else that was pretty good.
Look at Al.
I don't know.
Al's face is what I was thinking. I was like,
hey man.
I mean,
that
debacle that is Cuties is kind of like, no, hold my beer. You know,
that cream of the crop is leaving. So
Go ahead.
All
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
right. All right, Sean. I'm gonna circle back at you again and ask you, what are your thoughts on Conan the Barbarian coming to Netflix, man?
Now, I'm a bit two-sided on this because I like Conan, but I'm not sure about Netflix considering their hit or miss record with most of it being misses. But but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm hoping that it be solid, but I don't know. Me and Varangian talked about this on the show on Friday because he is in the same mindset as me. He trusts the showrunner in charge, but he don't trust Netflix because he said he don't like most of what Netflix put out. So, I'm just in the position of waiting to see because I'm of the mindset that we're getting Conan, but at the same time, it's Netflix, man.
Can't be worse than this.
Oh my God.
Can't be worse than that.
It can be.
I
Can't be
think
worse than this.
I think the
We hope
Conan
it's not.
show, the entire Conan show, will rest on who they get to be Conan. Because let us forget, but also let us not forget. At one point in time, Jason Momoa was Conan, and that movie was horrible.
I forgot about Jason Momoa for it. Conan.
Uh-huh. Hey,
I don't know how you forgot about him.
eyes.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I don't know how you forgot about it. He
And
was
this-
the same. He was.
Was
He
that
was
2 years ago?
what's
3
his
years ago?
name?
This was
No.
4-5, something like
No,
that.
it was way longer than that.
It's been that long ago since that movie came
Yeah,
out.
it's way longer than that.
Wow.
You got to think
2012,
about
2013, something like that.
like how
Yeah.
long ago did hell Batman v Superman was 4 years ago.
Right.
It
So
seemed like
it's
it was
even
long.
longer than that. Yeah.
So, and this was before he was buff Jason Momoa. This is small. This little Momoa.
This is considered little
That
Momoa.
was
Little Momoa.
right after his first season of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
probably a year or two after.
Yeah.
He wiped the paint off
Oh,
his
wait.
eyes, shaved, and did that.
No, because
Yeah.
he kept the paint around his eyes as Conan. It was less Conan and more like Sinbad, the Adventures of Sinbad, because he had a ship and a crew, and it was bad. So I think the show really is going to hang on who they get to play Conan. He ain't
He
got
didn't
to be
say
Arnold
Crom one
Schwarzenegger.
time.
Not once.
Yeah, not once.
They didn't do the Riddle of Steel. They didn't
Not
ask him what was
No,
best in life.
no.
Look at Sean.
I didn't see a serpent in the movie.
That's a Conan trademark. By Crom.
Like Crom.
Like Crom. Come on, man.
He didn't have a sidekick.
None.
None.
There wasn't a woman that looked like a man like Grace Jones.
Hey,
Who you fighting?
Hey, I like the Grace Jones and Conan the Destroyer, man.
She was
Hey,
horrible.
you know what I was watching? Hey, you know what I was just watching? I was watching Boomerang. No man.
Ugh.
Ooh, that's a handsome looking woman.
Ugh.
Oh man.
I was watching Boomerang. That
Man.
classic scene, man.
That. But then
go ahead, X.
what happened to He-Man? They
It's
just
coming.
were talking about He-Man.
No, they're still doing that. They're still working on that.
Kevin Smith is
So they're
working
gonna
on it.
do both of them.
Yeah.
Boy, this gonna be a shit show.
Well, He-Man's gonna be a cartoon,
Yeah.
whereas Conan's gonna be live action
That we know of.
that we know of. I mean, and the dude ain't got to be buff. He ain't got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger size, Mr. Universe, but he's gonna have to have at least some muscle on him.
Hey,
To look
he
the
can't
part.
come out there looking like the Z-Man.
Can we just get a?
Man, do I gotta bring out how we need
I mean,
Conan to be savage?
But so I was
I'll
just
take
gonna say,
John
does he need
Cena.
to be a caveman?
I'll take John Cena. I don't care as long as he just.
Oh God!
No,
Oh God!
No.
Oh God!
Leave
Somebody
him,
that's got
leave
the
him
style.
over there. Hey,
Stop
leave him over there as a peacemaker.
Hey, you
Hey,
reached Larry territory
getting
yesterday when he
Right,
came in
right,
and said that DJ
right.
McMahon beatbox stuff. I almost threw him off the show, man.
Hey,
No,
Peacemaker
no
getting
John
the show.
Cena. Yeah, no John Cena. No John Cena.
No John Cena.
No. He is not cut out for this role. No way. Hey, here we go. Hey, Dub got it. Hell no, John Cena.
I don't want to see John Cena. I already can't see him as is.
DT, both He-Man and Conan will be only as good as whoever is playing the character.
Exactly.
Oh
So
man,
who do you think, Sean? Who do you think should be Conan then? Who out there in Hollywood has got the look and the muscle to be this generation's Conan?
And don't
I
y'all
don't even
say
know
Henry
if
Cavill.
anybody's buff in Hollywood. Like, I don't even, like I said, movies for me has been in and out, you know. So I really don't know who out there could be Conan. But obviously, it ain't gonna be John Cena. That's damn sure, man.
But why go Hollywood?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why go Hollywood when you can cast somebody? Because most of the time, you know, when Arnold got the role, it wasn't like he was major in Hollywood. He was still
he barely could speak English.
yeah. But that was his breakout role.
Right.
You know, that was the one that put him on the map, and then Terminator just blew him up. So
Right.
it could be somebody who's unknown or somebody who's been under the radar, and then they get this big role and they blow up.
True.
They can get Buddy from Creed too. Ivan Drago's son.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he would
yeah.
actually be. He would.
You know what? He would. Yeah, he would actually be pretty good,
yeah.
man.
The only thing is, I would want him to be Colossus in the MCU.
If they ever bring him around,
He could easily be like Peter and Colossus.
right?
All they got to do is just
What
throw
is Black
silver paint
Manta
on him.
saying, man? What is Black Manta saying, man?
Probably make Conan
Kevin
work.
Hart. Wow.
Conan the Walkarian.
All of 5'1". You right.
Kevin Hart could play the little thief that ran around with Conan.
Right.
That's
So
about
if that's the case, you got to put the Rock as Conan.
I mean, because it's like in their contract, isn't it?
Right.
They got to work together.
Oh, so The Rock gonna join Arnold Schwarzenegger as being the one that played both Hercules and Conan?
Hey.
Well, if that's the
being
case,
Black Adam.
they can get Buddy that was in the Twilight and play Hercules too. If you want to go that route, they were awful.
You talking about Shark Boy?
No. I don't know his name, but he played Hercules. He was the sporty vampire in Twilight. Yeah.
The sporty one.
The
Like they the
sporty
Spice
one.
Girl.
Yeah.
He's the sporty
Exactly.
one. He was
Because
the
I can't
sporty
tell you
one.
his name.
I couldn't either.
The only names I know are Bella, Edward, and Jacob, and that's because that's what's in every damn trailer.
Right.
All right, let's move on to this next topic, y'all. Al, this one is for you, my friend. PS5 pre-orders are getting canceled left and right. Now, I could have swore we had a show about 2 weeks ago, and you said this. Look at his face. You said this was coming down the pipe. Al, the floor is yours, my friend. The floor is yours.
All I gotta say is common sense. That's all I got to say. You put in a situation, man, where anytime a new system rolls out, it's gonna always be the same thing. This is it was a no-brainer, man. I mean, people are all upset and pissed off about it, but you knew it was coming. I mean, if you thought you had, especially certain retailers where they canceled the pre-orders, if you knew at that point, or if you thought you knew you had a system, then chances are it was like playing the dice with Leonard Washington, Grits and Gravy, and Ashley Lair from the Chappelle Show. You were just taking a chance, and it never fails, folks. Anytime a new game system is released, it's always the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's not gonna stop. We're gonna be 80 years old when the PlayStation 26 come out, and they still gonna have a shortage of game systems. After all them game systems between the PlayStation 5 and the 25 that come out, it never fails.
X.
My pre-order wasn't canceled, so that's all I care about.
Damn.
That's evil, man.
That is savage. Yeah, savage. The savage Xavier. That's what it was right there.
It's the truth. It's mine. Hey,
the savage sword of Xavier.
all I care about is mine. I'm sorry. ain't nobody else gonna pay for mine. I ain't gonna pay for theirs. So all I care about is mine. Now, if y'all had one pre-order and it got canceled, I feel for you. 'Cause y'all my boys. I don't know the rest of these cats. Sorry. Hey, if my car broke down right now, these people who pre-order got canceled, they ain't finna help me get my car back on the road. Sorry.
Hey man, that's gonna be the caption of the thumbnail. Yeah.
Just saying.
Sorry for you.
Hey, Sean, what's your thoughts on it, man?
Same as ours. You know, I didn't pre-order because I usually wait a year or so to get it. That way, some of those launch games are discounted. But we've been through this for so many years. You know, with these video game consoles that's brand new, and as soon as they put out the pre-orders, everybody is going to flood those sites. Like, and the funny thing was that PlayStation said it was going to come out, the pre-orders were going to be available the next day, and you had retailers putting the pre-orders available that night. It was announced. So you had people just flooding all the websites. You had Best Buy crashing, you had Amazon crashing, you had all them sites crashing because people are in a rush.
Man, my phone. I had to reboot my phone 3 times. How bad Best Buy's website and app was crashing.
It's crazy.
That's horrible.
So I just look at it as, you know, I never jump on the first wave when they announce pre-order stuff. I always tend to wait. You know, I still got games on the PS4 I want to play, but I'm not in the rush to buy a PS5. You know, I can wait.
Yeah, I'll see y'all next year, man. Y'all let me know how it roll. Hey, we'll all be watching X, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, I still got my day one PlayStation 4 in there.
As a matter of fact, Xavier's going to have a unboxing of the PlayStation 5 here on the Comic Hall and Round Table.
Hold your breath on that one.
An unboxing,
man.
Hold your breath on that one.
No, he's going to have an unboxing on here, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. Tell Al. I see a little Al. Yeah, Al, like, you know what? Yeah. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Chris,
y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all waiting on that episode, good luck. I'm unboxing, hooking up, and playing. That's it.
I'm just like without. You know, I've been playing video games. My dad owned an Atari 5200. I've been playing video games since then. And this was, like Al said in the last video, this was something that was coming. You know, people act like getting a PS5 is like finding, you know, the Ark of the Covenant, and it's not that serious. Like, it's not gonna melt your face off when you plug it up and start playing, you know. So the fact that they're canceling them is proof of just how badly PlayStation was, you know, expecting this to go. And it's also, like Sean said, it's bad on retailers. You know, this is same thing happened with the Xbox One and the PS4 when it came out. Retailers put it out on early. The only difference is that we weren't in a pandemic, so they handled it a little bit better. But at this stage in the game, we on like the 8th generation of consoles at this point. Like, you ought to know people gonna want what you got. And so just make it and be ready.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the same thing is gonna end up happening with the Xbox, with the Series X, because it sold out just as fast as the PlayStation did, and the same people that got their pre-orders are the ones putting them up on eBay and this, that, and the other. So the same thing is gonna happen. It's just Microsoft was a little quieter with theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I'm gonna send you a link. I want you to share this and show it to everybody that's watching. This is one of them situations where we used to have a segment on the show called "You Must Be Out Your Damn Mind." This is
I don't even want to see what their price is. God, I don't even want to see it.
This is gonna be one of them situations.
This ain't getting monetized, man. But when I saw it pop up on the screen, I get the fuck out of here, man. Hold on, let me. This is shocking. Hold on, y'all. Let me record this.
Is it over $3,000?
Let it clear up, y'all. Ooh, boy, these folks are serious about this thing, man.
20. Can y'all see that?
Nah, it's blurred, man.
It's blurred. Hold on, let me see here.
I can tell there are too many digits on there for a PS5.
Can y'all see that? Is it still blurred?
Ain't no way. Hey, hold on. Is there anybody bidding on it?
No, that's fine now, bro.
No, I'm saying. Oh well, even
It's
worse.
straight up. It ain't
Yeah,
even
he
no
gonna,
biz
he
on
gonna
it.
sit there.
Does
He
it
gonna sit there.
transform? Does it become Optimus Prime? Is it?
Damn, that's the original Alienware gaming PC right there.
But this motherfucker got the nerve to put the receipt.
The receipt.
Hey, that ain't that. Hey, Sean, that ain't the coup de grace, man. Look at the title: PS5 free overnight shipment. I would imagine so.
Better
5 G's and all.
First of all,
You better get shipment.
you better. I better get every game to come out
I'm telling you.
ever.
25 grand. You
25
better
stacks.
Oh,
get
it's a joke. It's when it's a spoof listing, y'all. That is, look.
Oh,
It gotta be.
okay.
I'm about to
Yeah.
say.
So what the fuck is it doing up there, man? Come
'Cause I
on,
was
man.
gonna say,
Ain't nothing better to do
boy,
with the time. Why not? Why not?
I better get 181 giant size X-Men, all of it at the same time
So-
for 25 stacks.
So I hope all these listings are joke listings, man.
That's
For them-
stupid right there.
For them prices, I need it delivered to my door like Uber Eats.
No,
Like-
that's a legit one
No,
right there, man.
Nope. I'm gonna go to the store and get mine. I don't want nobody. I don't want no shipping and handling on mine. Nope. And it's the holiday season. That UPS driver or FedEx driver or what's the other one? DHL or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, please. They gonna either that's their Christmas gift to themselves or Christmas gift to little Johnny or Susie or whoever else. No, damn that.
Yeah, somebody gonna get got this shit.
Right.
Wow.
Them some crazy prices right though.
Man, I can tell you like this: if somebody try to get me for mine, hey, if you got it, you earned it, and good luck,
Right. It's going down.
Josh. They ain't seen the pissed off ex. Just try me, mess with
Parking lot
mine or my
gonna turn
son,
to
and
Fight
you
Club.
catch the full round.
The parking
Yeah, I
lot's
mean,
gonna turn to Fight Club, man. It's gonna get crazy.
Like I told y'all before, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I just wait this one out, like I did with the PlayStation 4. Anybody who decides to get one, if you want to get one, that's cool. At least I know what to look out for before I get mine. But I'm not. Listen, I did the PS3. I told y'all. I said it again. I sat out there with Adrian Moss, and after hell, I even think Tommy Scats was there, if I'm not mistaken. He'll tell you we was out there sitting outside, pork and beans and roasted peanuts, man. Camping overnight for that PlayStation 3.
Not even boiled peanuts. They had to be roasted peanuts.
It's peanuts. I know that.
So y'all out there eating uncooked pork and baked beans, and
Hey, man,
roasted peanuts that dry your mouth out with no water, no juice, no nothing, huh?
What the hell? How old the hell?
Y'all were constipated. Y'all might as well ate block cheese.
Hey man, y'all want a heavily sword bad as hell, boy.
Hey, yo, that's a game they need to remaster right now. What?
Hey man,
You're breaking up, Matt.
What?
you were speaking alien then. I didn't know.
Didn't hear a word.
You sound like you were from the
Man, over
planet
there, he's speaking
XJ9,
engineer.
man. Something wrong with your microphone.
You still sounding like that, bro.
Some got a short in it.
Calm down. Calm down.
Even his computer is shocked at the price.
Right.
You still, hey man, you feel like something happened, man. I'm sorry to you.
Hey, is that how rappers gonna sound next?
Say what now?
Is that how rappers gonna sound next?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
From mumble mouth to max headroom.
All right.
Right.
How about now, y'all?
You
There you
good
go.
now?
Are we good? All right. There we
Hey,
go.
I would
Battery-
like to give myself a pat on the back because that was pretty good.
The battery was down.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that was my microphone.
But no, the thing about it, man, is like X said, Heavenly Sword, those are games when you think about launching a system, those are system sellers. Heavenly Sword would have been a great game. I would have been fine if they said, you know what, we're gonna save Ghost of Tsushima. This is gonna be a launch We're gonna create a bundle. You know, okay, yeah, you know, nope. They released it, then they come out with the system. Not even gonna talk about Last of Us. So, you know, God of War, and they came out like what was that 2 weeks ago? They said, "Oh, God of War 2021," and anybody who's followed that knows how we know how that rolls. That's not gonna come out in 2022 at the earliest. At the earliest.
I hope it come out later.
Well, I mean, you know, I talked to TC Sunday. TC brought up a good point. He said, "Man, they've already got the skin and everything else they need to do to pretty much build the game. The game should have already been built.
Should
They could have went ahead and just started on that one as soon as they got done with the last one. I mean, it's really no excuse. Sony does this shit all the time, and it's aggravating. You know, they know what's what. Just like Rockstar is sitting here milking the shit out of Grand Theft Auto 5 online. That game is almost 10 years old.
And we
have Grand Theft Auto Vice City the same, a year and a half later after GTA 3? No.
So like that, Vice City and San Andreas came out within a short amount of time. Like 2 years most.
Yep.
But you know, I just think that Sony just consistently shoots them. They do for everything they do well. They will find a way to botch it, man. They
Shoot themselves in the foot.
Way. Shoot themselves in the foot, man. Al, you had your hand up there.
I did, man. I'm gonna have to disagree with you about that Ghost of Tsushima, man. That best thing they could have done, put that on the PS4. Now they can do an extra super Ultra Street Fighter version on the PlayStation 5. But man, that's all I wanted to say.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. This is a topic that broke, I want to say, Thursday night. Warner Brothers has tapped in and will adapt superhero comic Black #1. Now, for all the naysayers who watch our top 10 list, you can go back. I want to say it's about 3 lists. You can go back to the show that me and Sean did, and we told y'all that that was a good book to pick up. That book set in dollar bins. That book set was on the actual website for the longest until somebody brought it up in a group. You could have still went and got you a copy of it for what, $2.99, $3.99. It's a good read. It was a solid read when it came out. And I'm gonna say, in about 4 years, you're gonna have Killer Be Killed next. I guarantee you, those are books that'll be getting picked up. But Black is a book that I even think when the book first came out, we were talking about how good it was, and that it was a book that probably could end up being adapted. And here we are. Now, of course, you know, just because they picked it up doesn't mean that they're gonna throw something out there right away. You know, and we all know how Warner Brothers operate. You know, and so I think if they do it right, this would be something that would be good because it's already, you've got material. See, this is what drives me crazy with these companies, y'all, is that you've got material already there to be used. Don't deviate from that, man. Just use what you got. Go ahead, X.
What you mean by we know how Warner Brothers do?
Well, you know, like with the DC properties.
You talking about movies, not series.
Movies.
Warner Brothers series are normally top notch.
No, I'm talking about movies because they're going to adapt it for a movie.
Oh, they're adapting it for a movie. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
They're not adapting for regular TV. No.
I got you.
For a movie.
I got you.
That's what I said. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I think we're about to say the same thing. Go ahead. I think we're about to say the same thing.
We playing word tennis, but I honestly, man, reading that series, and I don't know if anybody in the chat is familiar with, but basically the premise behind Black is basically a world where Black folks are superheroes. That's pretty much what the whole deal is. I have the series. It was a 6-issue limited series. By reading that book, I honestly don't think that it would be fair to do just one movie because of the content in the actual book. Because it actually fleshes out a lot of the characters in that 6 issues and there's a couple of plot twists in that too. And for them to actually try one movie, I think that would be unfair to the property. That's just based on what I've read. I'm happy that it's coming out because it is a really good read for any avid comic book reader that's in the indie comics. Yeah, that Kill or Be Killed, man. Either way, TV show or movie, man. That series, the Brubaker did a really good job on that particular series. But yeah, that Black, I think if they actually commit to it, it should be more than one movie. But we'll see.
Chris?
I'm
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
I'm of the mindset that it should be a TV series. It's a 6-issue miniseries, and they could do a series where add more to it, flesh it out more. Because like Al said, they do flesh out the characters, and there are some twists in that book that I feel that it would lend itself better as a TV series, because you can conclude an episode with a cliffhanger that has you coming back for the next episode. That's and true. Stuff. And by doing it as a movie, how much time are you going to give it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know how much time you're going to give it. The characters might not always be fleshed out, and it might be a rush production.
I hate to say this, but we all know that they're not going to allow a 2-hour plus long movie about black superheroes.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny, but let's be real.
186.
And so I just look at it more as a TV series, and I want it to be on like an HBO Max, so we can get like the full.
There you go.
Grid of it. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Al.
I agree with what you're saying. TV show. I mean, based on the actual miniseries, it would be logical. But just to point out something that X said, if they looking at it from a perspective that they could possibly make a third or a fifth or a 1/18 of what Black Panther did, I can see a 2-hour movie with black superheroes in it. If they feel like they could make some money off of it.
But you know what, Al? Sean has a good point, because remember I think they did a spin-off book too. Didn't they do a spin-off book?
They did 3. Black AF, Devils Die, and another one, Widows and Orphans. I have all of them.
So I mean, I would lean towards what Sean and X talking about, making a series as opposed to a full-on movie.
And the thing about is, you want to try and do it because of Black Panther. Black Panther is a completely different beast. He's Marvel's first black superhero in the comics, and there was the build-up to that movie due to his appearance in Civil War. After we saw Civil War, everybody was excited for that movie, and the building up of that movie reached a fever pitch. And by the time that movie came out, everybody was just exploding with happiness that we finally got a complete black superhero movie with a majority black cast. And those characters, Black Panther in the world of Wakanda. So that's a different animal compared to this, which is still an unknown property.
Right.
People really don't. There's a lot of people that don't know about this series. True. And if you think a 2-hour movie is going to bring in the same type of fan base that Black Panther did, that's not going to happen, because they ain't going to have that type of hype that Black Panther had.
It'll be the 5 of us and a handful of other people in there, and that's it.
I just want to say, only Sean can say that as passionate as he did, sitting on a sofa with a leopard print like that. Speaking about the Black Panther, that's a bad man. He's a savage.
Matt, you ain't shit. Matt, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. That's why your mic cut out on you early.
Oh man.
Dirty song, bitch.
Chris, your thoughts, man.
Yeah. So I will admit, I just did a quick read because while everybody was talking, because I actually had never heard of the comic until now, and so I gave it this is one of the ones I missed. When you read just about everything, some stuff falls through the cracks. But I just gave it a quick read on the bio on what the comic is about and everything. And from the standpoint, so I've got two different standpoints about it. From the standpoint of being an African American male in America, I'm excited for this movie because it'll be taking nothing from Black Panther, but it'll be a comic book movie that people can relate to better. Because it is a movie, it is a story about everyday Black people gaining superpowers in the world and how the world reacts to them. So I think it's going to be interesting to see it from that standpoint. But taking it from the standpoint of from my other side of viewing it, as far as Warner Brothers is also, they're talking about bringing back all this milestone stuff. But in order to see how well things work, to see how well things are received, you have to have that test subject kind of situation. And so a previous thing was done, like a lot of people don't realize that Christopher Nolan did Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio, and he also did Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. If you've ever seen Shutter Island, a lot of what he does in Inception, he did conceptually in Shutter Island. He tested it, and then he perfected it with, Inception.
Yep.
Black is a really great story from what I've read, and guarantee you by the time we do another video, I'll have read all of it. So it seems to me that what Warner Brothers could potentially do with this is to take this comic, this idea, this new IP, put it out there, make it good or bad, however it's received. Because just like X said, there's not a lot of people know about it, so it's not going to have the same following when it drops. But test the waters to see how people react to seeing a movie with Black superheroes front and center, with average Black superheroes. Because nothing for nothing, last time I checked, none of us the king of nowhere other than our own home, so we can't all relate to Black Panther. But here we are looking at with the characters from Milestone, with Static and Icon and all these other characters, and with the characters from Black, your average person can relate to them. And so
no Hancock.
Right, and that's
no
why
Hancock.
I didn't even mention it. So it's something that we could potentially relate to. So Warner Brothers could be testing the waters to see how well people will react to it. See how well the world will accept. Here is this movie where Black people are going to get superpowers, and see how much money it'll make. And that'll let them know how well potentially, no matter the following Static may have, doesn't mean everybody's going to want to see the movie though. Whereas with Black, if it's received really, really well, it could be the pure foundation we need to give us a really good Static movie, which could lead to a Blood Syndicate movie or an Icon movie or any other Milestone property becoming a big screen blockbuster that Warner Brothers is looking for to battle back against the MCU giant that has happened over the last 10 years.
See, this is where they need to be woke on something like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that Sean spoke on it earlier when he said the Black Panther was led up to by his appearance in Civil War. How come these folk weren't woke when he was in Civil War? You know what I'm saying? You ain't hear nobody Wakanda forever, Wakanda, la 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 la, all that. You ain't hear none of that when he was in Civil War. But the minute they showed him in a new suit and flying through the air, all of a sudden everybody want to be Zamundan. I don't get it.
Wakanda forever.
Prince Jaffe Jofel and all that.
You talk about Black Panther, man. Where all these woke folk at when Media Man came out, man?
What?
Man?
What?
I'm just sitting here like, Media Man came out, man. We've had a Black superhero before.
Why they want what with Blade?
Because people didn't realize Blade was a comic book movie.
And I don't know how.
I don't know how it say Marvel at the front of it, at the beginning of it.
Think about it though. Blade came out in a world where the idea of a comic book movie that wasn't Superman or Batman didn't exist.
Say what now?
Blade came out in a time when people didn't think of a comic book movie if it wasn't like Superman or Batman.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you said, I misunderstood. I thought you said it came out during the time when there wasn't comic book movies. I was like, no, they were out. But I got you.
Yeah, if it wasn't capes and tights, people didn't think it was a comic book. So,
because when you look at Blade, the movie, it's like you don't think of it as a comic book movie. You just think of it as a vampire hunter movie, not thinking about the character as a vampire hunter. But nobody really knows.
That's the beauty of it, though, with the exception of part 3.
Up to that third one, because that third one was
You're right.
mighty
The
funny.
damn
It was-
Yeah,
dog.
that shit was trash.
Garbage.
You know.
Well, first of all, when you made Dracula a snake, a
Look,
snake.
even the alternate ending didn't make that movie no better.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Triple H
What?
pedigreeing somebody is just
That
terrible.
was man.
Hey man, the man got uppercut. Like, how you
Yeah.
get uppercut with a silver bullet in your
And-
silver grill when you're allergic to silver? I never understood that. How do you have a silver grill when you're allergic to silver?
It
Did
was
y'all
that
pick
stuff
up on
from
that?
it was from the swap meet. It wasn't real.
right. It was that.
I'm right there with Wesley Snipes. He ain't want to open his eyes. I'll stay asleep on that desk, man.
I would have collected my check too.
Al,
Hey.
your thoughts on Black?
Maybe we get Mantis.
Oh,
I'm good, man. I mean, I agree with everybody brings some valid points to the table in reference to it. I mean, it's great to see an independent property that I've actually invested time in to get a shine. So I think I'm more excited about that than anything. But I mean, you know, I'm assuming that if they pick up this property, hopefully they plan on doing something soon, because it would be a travesty if they just secured it for no reason to just let it sit up, you know. So
Go ahead.
Very true.
Did anybody pick up Blank Man?
We don't talk about that.
But why we don't? That movie was awesome.
That
It
movie
was
was
awesomely
something.
terrible, but it was awesome.
That movie was something.
Yeah, that movie was awesomely terrible. Yes. Just
So
Lord, what Shannon said. What did Shannon say?
so I do not a vampire. They're pretty.
Hey, bro, they got to have Colgate promos, man.
Because they
Yo,
not British. Because
check
they
this
not
out.
British. That's all I got.
Why is it and it's funny that he said that about funny. See, why is it that in every vampire movie, like, why is it when they get ready to bite somebody, they have to almost break their neck to snap down on somebody? If you biting, you ain't. When the last time you bit an apple with just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen.
That's like
You know?
that plant on Mario Brothers, man.
Yeah,
It's the same.
Talking about
Like,
the
I
chop
don't-
train.
Yeah,
I couldn't be a director, because the minute you start looking non-realistic, and even though it's a fake movie, you start looking non-realistic. I'm like, yo, hey, go sit down. Give me somebody else to do this shit. You don't have to go through all that to bite somebody. Your teeth are razor sharp. You don't have to chomp on it. Just bite, bitch.
They gotta make it dramatic.
Ain't nothing dramatic. They sucking the blood out of somebody till they die. That's dramatic enough. I don't need first of all, if somebody bite me right here, I don't need a pool of blood just seeping all the way down, trying to look all sexy and shit. Just fucking kill me. I don't need all that extra shit. I don't need vampire in Brooklyn every bite.
Oh,
You know
oh
what I'm
man,
saying?
oh God.
Everybody.
What was that
you talk
vampire
about
movie we saw? That one with that chick, that video that we watched that one time. That old, you know what I'm talking about? I can't think of it. It's
Do
that
what now?
old, that old movie that we watched that one night with that sister in it, man.
Death by Temptation.
Yeah, that's it. That body sensation. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
Death by Temptation. That movie was amazingly horrible.
just like Vampire in Brooklyn. That was entertaining
Right.
crap.
Hey,
It was
True Blood.
entertaining crap.
The first 3 seasons of True Blood were the greatest things ever.
I won't give you that.
I'm talking about, yo, let me tell you something. 2 people that I ride with, one of them from True Blood, the other one is from The Wire. I ride with Lafayette and Omar and Day of the Week. And dare somebody to say something about me hanging out with them. Think about it. You got a Joker. No offense to any homosexuals out there, but you got Omar, right? Don't hide the fact that he take it and give it, right? Man, walk down the street and they throwing their shit out the window at him. Then you got Lafayette, who will sit back there making your burger with a tutu on, but the minute you disrespect him, will forget all about he like men and will beat the shit out of you. I ride with both them Joker and Day of the Week.
That is true.
Y'all go back and watch it now. I'm telling you, did this man say once bitten?
Shameless
Tommy
plug.
said once bitten with doggone
That's
Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey?
Wow. Yes.
Golly, I ain't seen that in forever.
His second movie. Wow. The ice cream truck.
Man.
The meat patties.
You
Yeah,
brought
I'm
up
finna watch that tonight.
you brought up Omar, and I'm like, shameless plug, but we did a 4-episode talk on The Wire a few months ago. You know, like discussing The Wire and its themes. It was
String
on
a
John's
bell.
Comic Book Kids. Yeah, String a Bell. That was a deep discussion on that. So I'll send y'all the links to it one time.
All right, all right, all right. Let's move on to the next topic, fellas. And it is one of our double main events tonight. Pandemic collecting. This is something that got brought up with Larry and I this week. We were riding and I told Larry, I said, I've actually seen something that I have not seen the last couple of years. Even with X went to one of our stores here, Primetime, shameless plug, and he came back with some heavy hitting. He went to Dave's and he went to Primetime, but he got a lot of Batman books that normally would have cost a lot more if we had been out, on a normal year. And I told Larry, I said, I'm finding books that I know had if I had went out during a normal year, I would have ended up paying much, much, much more than I would have. And I think personally that the pandemic is actually because store owners are not able to hit these circuits like they normally do. Then traffic is low in some of these places. Let's just be real. People are still scared to go to the comic book store. But I keep telling people, comic book stores, depending on where you at, comic book stores, at least in our area, is typically low risk because there's not a lot of people there. So you're able to go, unless you go to prime time on a Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock.
Unless it's a magic
Yeah,
tournament.
unless it's a magic tournament, then buyer beware. But like on a regular run-of-the-mill Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, you can go to the comic book store, man, and basically dig for hours without anybody even anybody bothering you. Two, you're able to kind of go through, and that's how allocate. We went in for one or two things, and we both walked out with stats because we were able to dig without anybody bothering us, and we had the store to ourselves. So, Sean, I'm gonna come to you because you're down in Florida. Do you find it that you're finding better deals now than you normally would have found during a regular year, or what have you?
When I went down to Tampa, I found some really good deals. When I hanged out with Steve and them, when we hit up 3 shops, and Nerd Out and Urban Legend was like the honey holes that I really got some good deals on comics. Guy gave discounts at Nerd Out. We say, well, if this book is like $5, I'll give it to you for $3. And stuff like that. And any sales that at Urban's, there's like you can get 3 books for 3 price wall books for $20. 3 books, 2 of them you pay for $10 each, and then you get the third one free. And sometimes he'll add a third book if I have an extra book, and that's it. He'll say, I'll throw that in there, for free book. So there was some good deals to be had, during that whole trip. And then my comic shop, they always give me good deals because they want to move inventory. If they buying the collection, they want to sell that collection. They want to get people. And I got 2 books here that I was able to get, and they recently got these books, and these were books that I was needing for my collection. So I was able to get them, good price, and everything worked out well. Now today I was going to go in the comic shop and dig in the long boxes, but you had a father with his 2 kids there, and they were over there in them long boxes for a while. So I was like, man, I ain't even gonna bother, because especially when the kids are just going all around and picking up books and stuff like that. So I was like,
They done probably messed it up. They messed up the gems you were looking for.
yeah, man.
So they don't know no better.
I wanted to go over there because that's where they got some of the collection from. They brought the collection, and they was putting them over there, some price books. But I was like, man, I ain't gonna wait, because I waited like 20 minutes. They still going through it. I was like, man,
don't even know what they looking at.
Yeah. Also, man, I've also, we talked about this last night after we logged off last night. Sean, Larry was saying, he's finding a lot of good deals on eBay and in auctions. because people are trying to get, like you said, people are trying to move these books. They're not able to sell these books like they normally would. You know, we all know if you go to the conventions, man, and they pile after pile after pile after pile. You know, people piled in, you know, getting books, and now you know it's grinded to a screeching halt. And some of these guys have still got storefronts to pay for. Some of these guys are going into like Mario's up in Marietta. Is you know normally he's on the circuit, so what he's done is he's dropped his collection off into a flea market, and so basically everything's priced. Go in, grab it, in and out. And his books, and I can tell you this: that Mario, his books are probably 50 to 65% cheaper than what you would see if you were on the circuit.
Man, you said you was watching my show earlier. Did you catch the part where Big Will was talking about the 2 Space Ghost comics, the Alex Ross covers?
I missed that.
He was selling them on eBay for $55, both of them, and these are graded slabs, 9.6s on Alex Ross Space Ghost. The guy was trying to give a lower offer, you know, trying to say $30, $35, $40. Big Will said $45. That's my offer. $45 on the best offer. Now you think about it. $45 for 2 Space Ghost Alex Ross covers slabbed at 9.6.
A piece or total?
That both books for $45. And this man still
and the dude still lowballing them?
Yeah. And he even gonna send a message to him talking about, you know, I really want these Space Ghost books, you know, I have a Space Ghost collection. That's
how bad do you want it?
That's what I'm saying. For $45, I would have jumped all over it. Right. Big Will made a sell on my show, The Simply Incredible, who was on the show. He said, I'll take it for $45.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes no sense. It's $45 for 2 9.6 slab Alex Ross Space Ghosts.
I don't even collect it, and I would have did it if I would have been on the show. Hell.
That sounds like a Dave's deal right there, man.
Shit.
That sounds like a Dave's deal. I'm telling you, man, like if like all right, so here I'm trying
what's your PayPal, sir? I got you.
I'm trying to suppress the rant. I'm trying to suppress the rant. Dude,
don't suppress it, man. Don't suppress it.
we're in a pandemic. Guys offering you a deal with 2 books that will probably be $150 on a good day, depending on you know if he got coffee that morning, and you still got people moaning and groaning about books, about paying for books already discounted. You know, X, you saw it a couple of weeks ago up at Dave's. You know, hey Dave, how much is this book? Oh, normally it goes for a couple of $100. I'll let you get it for $20.
I think that day he was just. I think the only price that was stuck in his head was 10.
Yeah, 10.
It's $10. $10.
Yeah,
10. $10. Yeah, 10.
Are you serious? Yeah, you just like Dave. Are you serious? Yeah. Well, hell, let me go get 3 more of these then. Shit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, really.
And this is what I don't get though. So like, we all find gems out there. We get gems in dollar bins, $3 bins, $2 bin, whatever. Every now and again, we are gonna pay a little more than what we want to. I ain't saying we go drop 25 on a $3 book. I ain't saying that unless it's worth 200. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna spend a little more every now and again. But for the most part, and I guarantee all of our collections, we've had way more gems found at way less prices than us spending a couple bucks on a book that we really, really want. If you would have sat here and if that ass clown would have bought those books for $45, those would have been his dollar bin grails right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. Like you're not gonna have the great come up every single time. You know, at some point it has to somewhat balance out, but damn, I'm flustered. I don't even collect that, but I'm still going back to if I was not at the Blue Box and I was listening to your show, I would have offered him 45 right then and there.
It's crazy, man, because I'm
like
like
stupid.
These are slabs. Now it's not like they're raw copies. These are slabs, 9.6s. and he's saying $45. Best offer, $45. I'm like, yo, I am sold, bro. His 45. Send them to
Guess
me,
what?
man. PayPal them.
Right. Guess what? I'm 45 for both of them. I'm buying both of them. I'm flipping one of them.
There you
I'm
go.
flipping the hell out of the second one. I got my bread back. I got the book I wanted and the bread back, so I'm good. These clowns, man, they ain't got no sense.
I mean, this is like here, over at our store, over at Prime Time, probably what is it, 10? What is it? After 10,
$12. If you get 12 books out of the dollar bin, it's $10. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
$12 books for $10.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. I mean, some people take trying to get a deal to the farthest extreme, but I mean, when you have stuff like that, man, 2 slabs for $45, man, that's crazy, man. Hell, you basically buying a book at a slab.
You basically paying to have it slabbed. That's all that is.
Yeah. And it's 45 shipped. 45 shipped.
2 slabs.
2 slabs.
Wow. Al, your thoughts,
man? I don't have nothing to say, man. If I knew who that dude was that was trying to lowball him, I'd punch him in the balls. But
that neck punch.
I'd do a Johnny Cage, big as I am, Johnny Cage split.
I was thinking Johnny Cage.
Hey, cut his eyelids off and feed him sleeping pills.
You ain't lying. So through the whole clothes, keep feeding. A lot of people, man, and I could pretty much almost guarantee you that guy wasn't really a savvy collector, because anybody in their right mind would know. Just like Tommy just said, man. I mean, it costs about that much you talking about shipping, you talking about sending the books off, you talking about the actual act of the book being slabbed and graded. And I mean, if you break that down, $45 between the 2 books, that's $22.50 for each book with shipping.
No pressing needed, no cleaning,
nothing with shipping.
I mean, think about it. If Alex Ross come to a show, you could have had those books. You could have got it cracked open, pressed, get it signed, and might get a grade bump. Who knows?
Yep.
Right.
And you paid only $45 for both books.
I mean, you probably could, Sean. If Alex Ross signs a book, it automatically takes that book up by 60% because it's Alex fucking Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just don't seem to get it. Will says, I got 2 trade paperbacks and 16 50-cent run fillers for $10 today at a show. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the deals are out there. You just gotta be patient. I'm not sure if John is watching the show tonight, but I talked to one of my large brothers today, and he did his first eBay bid today, and I explained to him, I said, deals are out here on eBay. You just gotta be patient.
Right.
eBay is kind of like, you have to be very, very patient and have to understand that it's a system to bidding on eBay. You just can't be willy-nilly. Some guys, they want $25,000 for a PlayStation 5.
The guy out of his mind.
Yeah. So and some folks,
nowadays you don't even have to bid. You could just hit the heart.
Yeah.
And at some point, the seller will contact you.
I was on the way to that. I was going to say, I've got more books in the last month just because I had stuff on my watch list, and somebody noticed it. And they said, hey, man, you want this? And then I'll go back and say, well, what about this? Sold. Over here. Done. I got 3 books sitting there right now. This is exactly what happened. Yep.
That's it.
I remember there was a time you put something on the watch list, it sat there.
Yeah, it sat there. Yep.
Now cat's like, hey, this dude want to buy it. Like,
right.
Hey, how much you want for it, man? Okay. All right. Yeah. We can make a deal.
Especially if it's one of them situations where you catch a book and nobody else is watching it but you. The seller is going to be really trying to get that book off his hands. So he probably willing to come off a little bit more as far as that percentage than if it was like 10 or 15 people watching the book.
All right. Then
and let it be a relisted book, several times relisted. guarantee that Joker sit there and try to get rid of it in a heartbeat once you like it again.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you something else too that is also in Allen like this. This is something I've observed too at a couple of stores. There's a store up in Marietta that we went to this week, and this particular store is known to be heavy hitter on its variants. Well, let me tell you. Let's go back to, if y'all can remember, about 4 episodes ago, we talked about the infamous Spawn 309. 309. We also talked about the infamous Batman card for $9.99.
Oh, I got one, y'all.
Yeah.
I finally got a Batman card, y'all.
Yeah.
How much it cost you?
Cover. I bought book 2 and it was in there.
And so what I saw this past week was a fruition of what I had already figured would start happening. And this is something else that's starting to happen. This is why I tell people, you know, if you got some variants or whatever you're looking for, don't be patient, because what's happening, and Shan is in the comment section, so he know this also happened to him this week. Some of these shop owners, and if shop owners, if y'all listening, y'all got to be careful, man. Y'all out here pricing these books at a premium right when they first come out. Then you put them in the loan box, and then a couple of years or whatever roll down the line, that same book that you charged $20 when it first came out is probably worth $500, $600, $700, $800 now. And that $20 book has become a deal, and you don't know it. Same thing happened over there. Oh, I had to catch myself. I almost said the name of one of the stores. Same thing. I had to catch it. I was about to call it, but same thing happened with Shan this week. Went to the store, $400 or $500 books sitting in the loan box, $15-$20. Win, because the shop owner thought he was. Oh, I'm gonna get over on somebody. This is why I say, shop owners. Chris, you worked over at a comic book store. You know what I'm talking about. You see this? What, you mark the book up, and then they stick it in there, and then they totally don't realize it, and then they come back, boom, that book is, you can buy that book, you get a deal on the book. Whereas you thought that, oh, I'm gonna market it when it first come out. You know, it happened to me at Oxford this week. They had a book over at Oxford, and I said, oh, y'all only want $9 for that? Yeah, that's the price. Okay, all right, well, I'm out. You know, I'm backing out doing like Joker on Dark Knight with the grenade, kicking the door. I'm out.
Let's not blow this out of
proportion.
proportion.
Let's not blow this out of proportion. So, Chris, your thoughts, man, as the former comic book store worker?
You know, it's like you said, right now, you know, with the pandemic going on, everybody, shop owners are definitely in a position of, especially when you have to look at it from the aspect of, you know, we had back in April to right at the beginning of June, there wasn't no comic books. Everything was digital for a while. So, you know, so shop owners, on top of having to be closed, wasn't even getting any new inventory in. You know, so then next thing you know, con after con after con starts getting closed and canceled, so they can't hit the circuits. So they're sitting on all this inventory, all these back issues, all these books that normally would have gotten moved, that they're no longer selling. And so more, I think it's a double-edged kind of situation. On the one hand, as consumers, we are winning out because more and more shop owners are starting to realize what you always say, Matt. If it's sitting on the wall, it ain't making you no money. And they are starting to realize that in order to keep their profits, they need to sell that comic book and stop trying to hold it because of some personal whatever and trying to get the most money out of it. Because money in your hand right now is better than hoping for money down the line. And for a lot of them, they done been sitting on books that they thought that this year they would get to sell at some convention somewhere that they didn't. And so now they got to try to move that book in their store to whoever's willing to pick it up. But then the other side of it is that we also have those, we all know some of them, we've been in their shops, those diehard store owners who are willing to you know, cut off their nose to spite their face. You know, when it comes to trying to sell a book, they still gonna try to get as much money as they possibly can for that book right now, as opposed to just selling it and getting it out their shop. So it is a matter of, in the pandemic, it's something I've talked about in the podcast the Outcast United podcast that I do. One of my friends asked me, he's like, how do you avoid, getting overpriced, and what are you doing? And it is all a matter of shopping around. You do the same thing when you buy a car, a house, piece of furniture, life insurance, or anything else you spend money on. You shop around, you find the best deal, you see who's going to work with you to get you what you want. And collecting comic books is no different. Be patient, have the time to go look around, look online, and just shop around. Get to know people in your comic shops, get connections, so you can ask people, hey, if you out and you see such and such issue, could you let me know if you can pick it up and I'll hit you back for it or whatever. Use the network of your friends and your other comic book collectors who are willing to help you find what you're looking for without breaking your bank. Because you will find that the people that are within the world of comic books that collect just like you do are willing to help you, because we ain't trying to go broke. And we know you're not trying to go broke. We all have our own personal budget for what we spend on comic books. And whether you know it or not, most of the people out there are willing to help you stay within yours, to help you find whatever it is you're looking for. And so you just gotta be smart, and you gotta be patient and be willing to just put in that time necessary to find what you're looking for. Because ain't none of it gonna show up on your doorstep, at least until you pay for it and order it. So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I think, and I agree with everybody. I think one of the biggest issues when you're dealing with comic books, especially if you're an avid comic book collector, is FOMO, and that really puts a damper. I mean, smart comic book buying is essential, because we all know there's vultures out there and there's sellers. There's people that, I mean, they go past the point of trying to make a profit. They just trying to get over on whomever they can. But I mean, I agree with everything that everyone is saying. I think in my situation, I've been a victim of that FOMO. In the past, I've actually purchased books that I should have just sat on and waited. But I mean, you live and learn. But I mean, in this particular climate, there are a lot of places. I mean, when we went to Primetime, their books are really priced to sell. And that, and I think another thing a lot of comic book stores don't realize is that if you offer goods and products that you would deem reasonable, that means that more than likely you're going to have repeat customers, because people are going to come back and want to continue to get on those dealings and those savings. And it's imperative for a lot of comic book stores to price their books. I was reading somebody, I cannot remember. It was one of the fellow comic book community members on Facebook. I can't remember his name, but he said he went to a store, and he actually, it was one of the things that you had mentioned on a previous show, Matt, about he went to this store and none of the books were priced. The books was the store was disheveled. It was unclean. So anytime he went and took a book up to the counter, the guy was like, well, let me check eBay, or let me check the Overstreet price guide. And he said he was immediately turned off. He didn't mention the comic book store by name. He said what city it was in, and that's pretty much how he left it. Now it's guaranteed that particular comic book store, unless he find a sucker, a Tootsie Roll pop, there ain't no way in the world the average, like any one of us on this panel, or anybody in the chat for that matter, is gonna go to this store and just actively buy stuff unless you can catch them slipping. Because most times, you do that when you go to a store and they've overpriced books. You try to catch them slipping. But other than that, man, Chris mentioned about rent. They got the storefront. They got to take care of the utilities and stuff. And it makes no sense. And this has been an underlying theme on many of our shows. You can't make money if the product is still sitting on the shelf. So, you sometimes that $400 slab book of a mid-grade She-Hulk #1, you might want to come off a couple $100 off that book.
Or you might want to trade it for that Blue Marvel.
Hey,
and I know the person in the chat laughing when I said that.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. That dude was stupid. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's imperative. I mean, this is probably one of the best times actually shop for keys. I purchased a couple of keys. Sean, I had Stone Cold look for that first appearance of Sunfire for me. You know what I'm saying? And he found it at a store that I absolutely love. That when we able to get down there to visit Sean, we got to go to this store because it's I've purchased a lot of books, and that's another thing too, folks. You have auctions online and then you have auctions on eBay, but there's a lot of comic stores that are all across the country that actually advertise and offer books on IG. And there's one, I mean, I'm not ashamed to say his name is Urban Comics of Brandon, and he is in Florida. And folks, when I tell you that I have gotten some really great deals off of miniseries, I purchased dollar books for stuff that he's actually purchased. The dude is real cool. I DM him and I asked him if he had certain books, and if he got it, I'm getting it. And that's written. And I do that because there's a lot of, like, we have 3 comic book stores up here, but let's face it, every comic book store is not gonna have everything that you're looking for. So there's nothing wrong with actually looking around IG or Facebook. I don't use Facebook no more, but IG or whatever social media platform that you utilize. There, I mean, even when I was on Facebook, I was in a few groups and I bought some really good books, for premium price, So I mean, it's the market right now is at a point, aside from these new modern books, and that's a whole nother story for another time. But the market is rife if you know where to shop and you know what you're looking for, and you keep your wits about yourself. Because like I said, that FOMO is the mofo. Yeah, I said it.
Y'all saw what he did there.
Yeah, kicking around for the house.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
X, your thoughts, man?
So I'm gonna fall in with it with pretty much all y'all said.
I'll hop in there right quick. I'm gonna say, X probably got one of the best deals. And we talked about this on, I think it was last show, the show before last. I mean, that deal he got at Days Comics was absolutely insane for that Hush run of Batman.
Oh, I'm sending one of them. I'm gonna send 2 of them off to get slabbed, by the way. But I agree with everything that y'all said, and one thing I do want to kind of throw in there, especially here in our area, 2 of the 3 stores really aren't trying to move books. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
And we're not throwing out names or anything, but if y'all notice, there have been names that we have said throughout the show that we keep repeating. That's the one that's pricing to move books, and it just so happened they're the newest of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And books aren't even their main focus. So if books aren't their main focus and they're pricing it to move, bruh, you everything that they sell as far as comic books is concerned is just it's extra profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you move the stuff, first of all, you bought it, got it in your store to sell it, so sell it.
Sell it.
Yeah, sell it. Why would I buy? So these things behind me, I am not buying these to sell. I'm buying these to keep. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a collector. But you best believe that if these shells were in a store, they would not be out of these boxes. They would have prices on them to move them. You know what I'm saying? First of all, whatever price that I'm selling them for, I didn't pay to get it in. I didn't pay that price to get it in the store anyway. So whatever I sell it as, I'm making a profit off of it, which is the name of the game. We said this. I think we talked about this. I think me and Chris talked about this the first time Chris was on the panel with us. Was you want to sell this stuff?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You get it in there to sell it. If you want to be a collector, don't own a store.
And I don't want to hear you say shit about Diamond.
I don't care about Diamond.
Not at all.
I'm not coming in there to buy Diamond. I'm coming there to buy a book.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Diamond just who sent it to you. I want the fucking book that I came in there. If you want to sell it, sell the fucking book. Point blank period.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
I'm just gonna say this one last thing. The store that we're referring to that we spoke on, we've been in there for the panelists that live in Macon. We've been in there so much they know us by name.
Dude, they knew me. They knew me off the strength of Matt Larry, and Al. Like I went in there 2 days in a row. Just like I went in there on Wednesday to get some new books, and I just so happened to start looking through their dollar bins, and that's when they told me, "Hey, it's 12 for 10." I was like, "Let me get 6 more books in." Um, the young lady, she remembered me when I went back in there Thursday. Keep in mind, I got on a mask. You can't see me. I don't have on my uniform from work, so I ain't got no name tag on. You don't know me. When I walked through the door, she greeted me, "Welcome back. Good to see you again. What did you leave anything else out?" Then, as I'm ringing out, the owner, I think he's the owner, but the owner comes up there. He's telling me everything. He's like, "Hey, I need you to look at this. I need you to look at that." I was like, he was like, yeah, I think I saw you before because two of the three people were already in here early, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "You talked to man and They're like, "Yeah." She said, "You're ex." I was like, "Okay." I ain't never met this man, but he knew who the hell I was.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's about, right? That's some good for. I'm trying not to cuss, but that's customer service right there. You know who I am and don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? Just off the strength of my boys. That's that, and then showing me every which way that I can go about getting whatever I want, whether it's in their store or not. That's above and beyond, because this man trying to make money, and making money means selling and moving shit that's in your fucking store. The other ones, say, you can talk to me all day long, but I'm looking at your price tag like, what are you talking to me about? And the other one, if you don't want to sell it, don't have it up for sale.
That's it.
Don't tell me you got to think about whether you want to keep it in your collection or not. Bitch, I'm trying to buy it now, or just throw it away. Go ahead, Al. I know what you finna say. Go ahead.
No, I was just doing my trademark slap because I just keep thinking about that Kazar and the long shot.
I've told the story of my cousin getting the Mr. T books on here.
No, I want to hear about that.
I ain't heard that.
Yeah, let's hear about that, man.
Talk about a person wanting to move a book. You know the Mr. T comic with the Neil Adams artwork where he's standing in the gold sign. There was this book that had 2 signed copies of the Mr. T and the little coin with Mr. T on there. I think the asking price was like $25. So this was at MegaCon years back. It was me, my brother, and my 2 cousins. My cousin was looking at that book, because he likes Mr. T and all. So I'm over there digging, and one of the workers there approached me like, "You like that, Mr. T? It's $25. But if you want it, I'll give it to you for $15." And my cousin, he spent most of his money. He told him, "All I got is $7." And the dude said, "Well, then give me the $7 and it's yours." But the funniest part was the other store, the other place, the guy who runs it, he yells out $7 and he gives that man a dead stare look. I'm sitting there, I'm laughing, going through the box, and the guy just no-sold him like a wrestling move. He said, "Nah, just give me $7, it's yours." So he gets the book, the $7, and the guy was like, "We gonna have to talk about this." He's like, "What's wrong, man? I want to move the books." He's like, "I want to make a sale." And this kid was interested in it. And he like, if he only got $7, I'm gonna make this kid happy. Say, "Hey, give me the $7 and it's yours." So, but the whole situation was funny when that guy's like $7, because he like that's a loss for him. But the other guy was like, "Man,
that's a gain for him."
Yeah,
that's a gain for him because he's gonna remember, yo, I got this $25 book for $7. Every time he gets some bread, he gonna go in there and do some shopping.
Yep.
And regardless if he save $1, he's still saving something, but he's spending more money. The owner is making money off of one more person.
All I got to say, Xavier, is when we talk about Atlanta Comic Con, who do I talk about going to every time? Who have I mentioned about? The $5 man. When I find the $5 man, that's it. And the Alex Ross dude. I mean, that dude had 2 boxes of Alex Ross for $5. I gotta find him, bro. I'm doing myself a disservice if I can't find that man. I mean, when you get deals like that, man, you will keep going back to that shop owner over. Sometimes you'll find yourself going to that same shop owner 4 and 5 times a week. I know this because I do. When I get treated good, as days how many times you saw me last month. When I get treated good, I will go back to that store no matter what. But if I get pissed on, if I get a Dusty Road Atomic Elbow, if I get a Rick Rue Net Breaker, you can best believe you're gonna hear about it. Everybody on this panel is gonna hear about it. And that's what I don't understand with some of these shop owners, like y'all said, they're down heels. Is the fact of the matter is that they stand on that hill, they wave that flag, and they don't realize that as a business owner, bad news spread faster than good news, 10 times faster. So if I can do something to make someone happy and make them feel good, then I've gained a lifelong client, and that client is going to yield. That one book will yield you a few $1,000s. That one $5 book or that one $20 book that I asked, hey man, can you do for 10? Yeah, that one book will yield you more money long term. Al, go ahead, bro.
I'm just gonna use this as an example, and I'm done. Y'all already know, you and X already know this story. So one particular comic book store in the city that shall remain nameless. The last time I went to that store was summer last year. Dude tried to sell me miniseries, A Long Shot. I ain't been back since.
This was like what the third day of them being open.
It was like the third day of them being open.
and tell them how much you want for the long shot, yeah.
And he wanted $80 for the 6-issue limited series. But basically, it's only one issue that's worth anything of value, and that's the first appearance of it's Long Shot and Mojo. And he was gonna charge me $80 for all 6 books. Now, the average book, that Long Shot one by itself is probably a $20 book, 30 if high grade. Matt found it a few months later at another comic book store that shall remain nameless here in Macon, in the dollar bin. All 6 of them. Yes, Chris. I see your face. $1 a piece. So what I would have paid $80 for at that store, Matt ended up getting them for me for $6, and I saved $74. And I've not been back at that store since. And they'll tell you, and that he have sales. I don't go. I don't, because my thing is this: if you but see this guy, and
is it a sale? Right. Is it, if you amp up the price, is it a sale?
Sale is a conjecture. I mean, it's subject to whatever you feel a sale is. Right. But my thing is, I'm not gonna go if I feel like I've gotten treated right. Even if I save $2-3, I'm coming back to that store. And if you price them books to move, I'm gonna be there and try to find something that I want to buy. And if I feel like you're not trying to help me, help you, help me, I'm good.
All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to another hot button issue on our double main event. This is our final topic for tonight. This is guaranteed to be a really good one. Al sent a video in our Facebook chat group, and it was in regards to first appearances. What is a true first appearance? We have Hulk 180. Wolverine shows up at the end panel of the issue. We have Ultimate Fallout 3. Miles Morales is in shadow at the end of the issue. What's some other books that we've got with first appearances are debatable?
X-Men Annual 14 and Uncanny 266.
Yep.
You can go even simpler with the X-Men 1 versus X-Men 4 for Omega Red.
Yeah.
How many appearances does does Mary Jane actually make before her first appearance?
Or the black suit.
Yeah, or the
black suit
Yeah, the
Spider-Man.
black suit.
Yeah,
I ain't sleep who that.
I mean,
I ain't trying to fall in the Isles territory of falling asleep, man.
I'm resting my eyes, man.
Hold up. That was a camera glitch. Now your boy Will, that was the real deal Holyfield that day, sir. He was in the third realm of REM sleep, brother. I'm telling you, boy.
Yep. So, fellas, on the panel, I'll start with you, Chris. Chris, what constitutes a true first appearance for you, my friend?
The character actually appearing in the comic book. I don't want no name mentioned. I don't want no shadows. I don't want no, hey, did you know so-and-so is in town? I want to actually see the character either if they in their costume, and like if it's a secret identity thing, cool. But show them in their costume. Put them in the issue and not just the end. Hope 180 is great. But Wolverine show up at the last page. What good does that do me? You know, especially seeing how everybody hunts down 181. So really, if you're trying to read the story, you just wishful thinking.
But
so
that's a contradiction.
It is.
That's a contradiction of what you just said.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, what I was trying to use it as an example. Like, Wolverine shows up at the end of the book. You know, but they consider that his first appearance because it's technically the first time he's shown in the comic. But to me, that's not an appearance. That's a cameo. You're on the last page, and I don't get to see anything else about you until the next issue. I don't learn who you are. I don't get no story stuff about you. That's a cameo. That's what they call it on TV. If you only show up for one episode and you only in it for 5 minutes, you had a cameo part.
But if you see me outside of a window the night before you see me inside the store, did you not see me first the night before?
No, see, in real life, that's called stalking. That's not the same thing.
No. That me trying to spend their bread.
You know, but a cameo is cool, but I prefer to see the actual character in the comic book. You give me some substance, you know, especially, you know, those whole hey, here's a character, and then it's 12 issues before you see him again, or they even explain to you who the character was, and you know, it ends up being this whole clone saga thing from Spider-Man. It's not even the person you thought it was to begin with. Like, that's just a lot of that's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I don't need all that. If you're gonna give me a first appearance of a character, give me an actual first appearance. Let them show up. Let me see them in costume. Tell me who they are. Let them get into some action in the episode of the issue, and give me some meat. And let's be real about it. That's a first appearance.
Sean, what's the first appearance to you, brother?
If they show up in the panel and it ain't a silhouette or just a name, it's just them, like Wolverine at the end of 180. This is first appearance, man.
No.
What? Okay. What if that character appears on the cover?
It's first cover appearance.
That's the first cover appearance. Thank you.
So would that fall under first appearance?
No.
Not in my eyes.
Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes.
I'm
with Sean. I see what Chris saying, but I'm with Sean on this.
If he shows up and there's at least a whole panel of him right there charging that Hulk and Wendigo, saying, like, what's his name said, Wolverine. You know, this is Wolverine. How you deal with Wolverine? That's his first appearance, man. And then the next issue is just to complete the whole story is Wolverine.
Right.
But his first
it solidifies it.
That panel, that one panel that actually shows that character, his first appearance. Now here's the thing I don't like about sometimes.
Speak on it, man.
Oh, this little advertisement that has Wolverine in it. Like, oh, that's his first appearance. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's an advertisement.
Green cards and shit. Yeah.
Hey, that's a more. Hey,
don't try to spec up a book just because of an ad.
Right.
That's a Martin Jewelers insert.
Yo, man. They tried to do that with the black suit Spider-Man.
Man, hey, bro, they have done, like, I have seen the most Black Suit Spider-Man was here. He was over. He was in Service and Merchandise magazine. He was in the Zayas catalog, Steel catalog. He was in the J.C. Penney's catalog. He was over there with Tony the Giraffe over at Toys R Us.
Tony the
You know,
Julep.
he's been everywhere.
Hey, they could have put him on the cover of Cornflakes and he'd be his first
Yeah.
appearance, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, we got a good case. We got a good case of this with Venom. Not Venom. Black Winter. A couple of months ago. Oh, well, the Cloud is on this issue, but he's on this issue, or he shows up here, he shows up there.
They did that with Venom too. They try and change his first appearance now. Where that I think it was a Web of Spider-Man issue where somebody's hand pushed Spider-Man, and they said, "Oh, that's Venom," or that's something like that. That's like a cameo appearance. And they trying to come up with all these different cameo appearances and stuff like that to try and dilute the first appearance or something like that. I don't really like that, man.
But you know what it really boiled down to? What does the creator say?
But that's happened before. Where they go to the creator and say, "Well, what issue did such and such pop up?"
What? I mean, we can't argue with what the creator says, though.
That's true.
If Todd McFarlane says he created him in this issue, that's what issue his first appearance. Because if you see him before that, you're like, that wasn't the character that I created.
But that goes back to that. Also goes to what Sean said. If that character shows up in the panel, all right, we'll take Spawn. Spawn shows up in Malibu. What is it? Malibu's Sun 13, something like that. He's actually in there. So wouldn't that make that the first appearance?
Is that what McFarlane said?
If we're going, I don't know because I hadn't checked, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like, if McFarlane didn't say it, then no.
Yeah, well, if McFarlane says that it's in there, then hey, it is what it is. In the chat,
if I create a character and I say he appeared in Kiss My Ass #1, don't tell me that he was in Suck My Dick 58. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know.
What kind of comic books you read, brother?
I'm just saying, like, you gotta throw some perspective out there, you know. You're like, hey, no, I saw him in this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah. I created him, so I know when I created this character. That's whatever I say. That's when it's the first appearance.
Hey, Al, what's your thoughts on what Larry said down here about the Domino fiasco?
That man,
Rob Liefeld, man.
Feet now.
The feet.
Hey,
the feet.
Don't forget the Major X shit.
That's what I was thinking about, Sean. That Major X, man, like he just vehemently denied that Major X was Spider-Man one. Yeah. And Major X is in that book just as plain as day. Like he ordering hamburgers from White Castle in that book, but Rob Liefeld said it's Major X #1 or #0 or something. That was a garbage book in the first place, man. But I'm with Sean, man. My thing is this: I can see if it was a situation like for example, if my memory serves me correctly, Apocalypse had a silhouette in X Factor #5.
Yeah, I got that one. It's a silhouette.
Right. It was just a silhouette.
That's a cameo.
That, in my opinion, that's a cameo. But if you have a character like Wolverine is in full regalia, and he makes the comment that Doom and Confused just mentioned with his claws unsheathed, and he refers to himself as Wolverine. In my eyes, that's his first appearance. Now, his first full appearance would be Incredible Hulk 181. It was the same situation with Gambit. Gambit showed up a couple of issues. I think the X-Men Annual 14 released, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks prior to Uncanny X-Men 266. In that issue of X-Men Annual number 14, Gambit is shown in full costume with all the rest of the X-Men in several panels and a couple of pages throughout that particular book. And he also has dialogue. That book is not credited as his first appearance, even though it actually hit newsstands before X-Men 266. So when you go ahead.
I was saying this, so I guess it does. Then it comes down to terminology. Then the terminology between what is defined as a cameo, a first appearance, and a first full appearance,
Right.
and then first cover appearance. So those are all a matter of what people deem as
See,
far
that's
as
too
the
much.
definitions of those. But that's
But
what
it-
that
Too
would come down
much.
to, though.
But it makes sense though, X, because I mean, you look at it. 181 is that benchmark that everybody knows is supposed to be the first appearance of Wolverine. That's not true. It's not the first appearance of Wolverine.
It's his first full appearance.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing. It's just that's too much, man. We collecting books,
You
and we
gotta
got to
men-
have a fucking PhD in the word appearance.
Bro, y'all mentioned that black suit and how everybody thought that Secret Wars 8 was the main one until people started looking at ASM 252.
And that was. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
And then people started saying, "Oh, we gotta snatch ASM 252 because that came out before Secret Wars 8."
They weren't even supposed to.
It's right because 252 actually was the same situation with the X-Men annual. It actually the publication or the newsstand date, it just happened to drop before Secret Wars 8. Secret Wars 8 was supposed to be the first official appearance, but because 252 dropped before 8, it's credited with that role.
Then you had that whole thing with you got to throw that Marvel team up issue with Daredevil, and then the other spectacular one. Then they just want to throw all these. That's why I was fortunate to get all three of them except the spectacular. But I was like, fuck it, I got all three of them, so I just do one whole post. First appearance Black Suit.
Because honestly, had you not seen or read Secret Wars 8, you'd be like, where does Black Suit come from? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, in that issue, they just throw it on you. And it's like, damn, he was just in a red and blue suit yesterday. Now he's in a black suit. But like somebody just said, it's based on the market, which, in my opinion, the market it could be very screwy at times, man. I think a lot of times, a lot of these titles are placated and they're manipulated, man, to try to increase. Because I know for a while, because 181 was considered the first appearance, man, you could buy 180 for pennies on the dollar. I mean, 20, 30, 40 bucks based on the condition. Now, since this whole debate has started with first appearance, it's starting to shoot up.
Chris?
I mean, it is really a matter of what each individual person defines as a first appearance versus cameos, first cover appearances, first full appearances, and so on and so forth. So it's really, comes down to what you personally feel is the first appearance for you. I mean, you're the one that's buying the book. So, what do you think is the first appearance for you for the character? And that's the issue you hunt down. The whole debacle with, like Al was saying, with 180 and 181, for years. That was the book that I knew that people were hunting for because it was Wolverine's first appearance. And like Al said, now we have people trying to hunt down these 180s because it's now debatable whether or not 180 or 181 is the first appearance. And it's just
you know why they hunting down 180. Because they can't afford 181.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the only reason they're doing that. Let's be real.
There's some of that too.
That's why they put out facsimiles of all three issues.
Exactly.
180, 181, and 182.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't lie. I picked up one of them for my brother. Because years ago he missed out on picking up a 181 at a comic shop, and he's been hunting one down for forever. So when they put out the facsimile, I went ahead and just snagged him up one. I was like, it ain't the real thing, but unless you win the lottery.
That's another thing. Those free comic book days books that be having first appearances that skyrocket later on.
Man.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
And then they become extremely hard to find because, most folks either throw them out or, they trash it,
Yeah, because they were free. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I said,
What was the name of that Spider-Man villain that was in the free comic book?
That's like 2 years ago. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's one of the hardest ones to find too.
Yeah. What was? It's some simple.
Shannon knows. If Shannon's in the chat, I think he knows. Shannon.
It's a simple name.
Yeah. Who was that guy, Shannon? That was the villain in the free comic book day Spider-Man. Because we talked about that at length a few times. And I mean, it's
Virus.
No, that's this year.
That's this year's. Okay.
Yeah. There's a white
Oh.
Spider-Man free comic book day issue, and it's hard to come by too. But it was a big deal when the movie came out. That
Right.
he somewhere or another he tied in, and so that book went to $400-500, you know, out of the gate.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's where we at though.
Yep. That's where we are. Go ahead, Sean.
180 shouldn't be more than 181 in terms of what Tommy Skaggs is saying. But because 181 is so far out of reach for most people, 180 over the last couple of years has heated up because people are now saying, now I'm going to get that 180 because he makes an appearance and this is his first 2 appearances. So over the last, I would say 5-6 years, that book has been going up in price. You ain't going to find it in the dollar bin. Even years ago, you wasn't finding 180 in the dollar bin because people still saw that book as value. But the price has increased because people can't afford 181. They got to go after the logical issue, which was before it.
All right.
And Wolverine makes an appearance.
I'm gonna throw this in there, because this is gonna be the next book that they're gonna start arguing first appearances on. You can mark this episode down. Timestamp.
Hey, you see it? Joystick.
Joystick. Yeah, that's what it was. Joystick. The next debate will be X-Men, the modern X-Men. You know why? Because they're gonna say, well, they showed up in giant size. Then somebody's gonna say, no, they showed up in Foom number 10. Now, most folks don't know what the hell Foom is. It sounds like a household cleaner, but it was a oversized comic book. I know I saw 1 or 2 of them at Dave's, but they're on the first page of Foom number 10 before Giant Size X-Men came out. And so Foom 10 is now going for $1,200, $1,400. When you probably, if you're patient, you can probably find that in a dollar bin somewhere or at an antique shop. But it goes back to what Sean was just saying. People, they scramble for the first appearance here, and they scramble for it here, or let's just say they saw it in the newspaper. Okay, well, let's go find it. Let's go down to the library and see if we can find a newspaper and get that first appearance.
Right.
Then, the newspaper ad is worth so much money. I mean, everything. There's a point of comic book collecting that we all, we love collecting. So we love speculating from time to time, but then it just is fucking out of hand. And a classic example of that was, like I told y'all a couple of months ago, that Thor and that Venom was probably the craziest shit I've seen in at least 4 years. Some of the craziest shit I've seen. So I'm of the same ilk that, like Sean said, if they're in the panel, if they talk about the grass that they cut that morning, or if they talked about the lemonade that they drank that afternoon, that's the first appearance. End of, be of. If there's a cameo, there's a cameo. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, last thoughts on that, fellas?
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it. We have shut the door on that. And we have also shut the door on another episode of Comic Hall and a roundtable discussion.
Are we
Thanks
doing
for
hall?
Oh, you know what? Let's do some hauls tonight. Yeah, you know what? Most of us doing videos this week. But I know, Sean, I know you. I saw you over there. I saw you on your show earlier. Show these folks what you got, because you got some cool stuff, man. Go ahead and show.
All right, so I'm going to show off some of the new books first before I show AOKs. I picked up Wonder Woman 763, beautiful Josh Middleton cover, and I also got the Wonder Woman 84 book that came out.
Nice.
So I'm gonna give those 2 a read. I did get the Batman: The Three Jokers book 2.
Have you read it?
That's a good read, man.
I got it today. I read issue 1 and it was pretty good, and I got the card back there.
That's what's finna upset me though, cause I didn't get that card.
Damn.
My card had the Batman and Joker on it. I'm upside again.
Sender 13. And here's a book that $5.99.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
That's the one Al almost got out of bed for.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. Yep. was that a cover?
He was ready.
Is that Prince?
So, yeah, I got these 2 back issues, and these were 2 I needed for my Conan collection. These books run between $20 to $40 on eBay, and I was able to get them for $12 together. And that's Conan 241, Todd McFarlane cover.
That's a cover.
Is that Fabio?
Yeah, you could say. And then I got 242 Jim Lee cover.
Oh, that's dope.
Red Sonja.
Wait a minute. Those are back-to-back issues with McFarlane and Jim Lee?
Yep.
Yo.
These books go for like $20 to $30 plus on eBay. So I was able to get them for $12.
You know what's funny though? Just looking at it, you could tell the extreme differences between McFarlane and Jim Lee just off of those 2 covers right there, man. For the same character. That's amazing.
That Jim Lee cover nasty though.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I prefer the Jim Lee one, but definitely nice to add to the collection.
Yeah.
And I got an A-OK for my partner on Fridays on our movie show, Varangian Vigilante from Austria. He sent me the Wolverine vs. Blade variants.
That was a good read.
And you talked about Milestone earlier. He sent me first issue, Icon, still in the bag.
Polybag.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Don't start none, won't be none.
There you go.
And if y'all need some Milestone books, he says they got plenty of them in Austria.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
I don't know.
Hey, Chris, they bagged them up and just shipped them over there.
Yeah, that's why I say, man, this is a German edition of Avengers issue 87, Origin of T'Challa. So a foreign comic.
How aggressive is that name? Like, just say it in German.
Oh man! Then he sent me a magazine size Avengers and Savage Sword of Conan, same issue, but it got the Conan in the back. And this is the UK print.
Nice.
That's A-OK.
Yep, A-OK. A-OK. And then I got this in today.
There we
California Blend.
Woo!
Yeah. Rambo.
There it is.
Yes,
I think we'll actually see the costume in her movie. Hopefully.
In the WandaVision.
Maybe.
Yeah, see, soon as she posted this, man, I went and snatched it up quick. I already got a person on the community mad at me. But yeah, that's my haul.
All right. Al? Joker.
That story is so good, man.
Man, them timeless covers is beautiful.
All right. Strange Academy. What print is that for? Four. See that badass Chan.
That look like Street Fighter or Tekken or something like that.
That is a badass cover, man. And that's
Alex Ross was
anyway.
good.
This is Hyuk Lee right here, man. But they got a version that Matt had tagged me on IG, but they didn't have it up at prime time.
Oh, you dirty dog, you.
Hey, man, you left it up there. You could have got it.
Dirty dog, you.
Man, I love this story.
You got the Captain Carrot?
I didn't even see that one up there, or I just simply
Oh,
overlooked.
they got plenty of these up there.
Got the Captain
I'll
Carrot.
go grab it.
Hold on.
This is X of Swords.
Number 2.
X Factor number 4, part 2 of 222 of the X of Swords.
Yeah.
Hey man, they had another one up there.
Long road.
These last 3 I got today, but I'm gonna probably get this one slab, and it's gonna be like probably a giveaway for the show.
Oh,
Nice.
Then
I'm gonna enter for that giveaway.
no, you ain't.
right.
Yeah.
My boy his series about to be canceled after next month. I hate it. And then Ultraman.
I want that to go with my pop.
And this is an Alex Ross cover too.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's surfing?
Yeah, this is Alex Ross.
It
No,
looked
I'm
like
saying, is he surfing?
No, he got a kaiju pose. Hold on.
Oh, he tripping on power lines. I see.
No, he just showed up on Earth and he's like, "Here I am, bitches." You know what I'm saying? So,
Where's Captain
Oh,
Carrot?
that's the crease in his pants. I mean, in the uniform. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Chris Captain Carrot is still at the store, man.
You just can't.
Man, I ain't paying that much money for that book, man. I'm sorry. Bro, I buy Captain Caveman from 1962 before I buy Captain Carrot for $220, man. For real.
Mm.
All right. That's it. Chris, you got anything over there, brother?
Oh, yeah, hold
Yeah.
on. I got one more
Oh,
thing.
there it is.
That's right.
California Blend Icon.
Got that Nightwing mask on.
Actually, you know, Icon got a mask like that, so he stole it from Nightwing one night.
Yeah. One night he just went in, snuck it in there and got it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked up a few things. I went out and I ran by an Ollie's and picked up some stuff. Snagged. Had to find it. I had to finally get it because I've been
Of course,
wanting it for a while.
you had to have that with the Kingdom Come T-shirt you got on right now.
Of course, it just had to. It was a must. You'll be all right. I've been wanting this, and I finally found trade to get it because I missed the individual 5 issues of it, so I had to pick it up when I saw it because I've seen all the movies. I can't wait for the next one, and so there was just a had to get. I was lucky to find this. This is volume 2. Nice, thick little hardback for Iron Man, the Invincible Iron Man story to fill in some gaps. This was the quickest way to go about it until I can hunt down the individual issues that I've been looking for to fill in my run. I figured I would go ahead and snag this and be happy with it, which I am at the moment. And I got this as an early birthday present from a friend, even though they know it's kind of a joke because they know I'm not a huge Joker fan. But they got it for me anyway. And so it was one of those things. It was just like I can't turn it. You got it mailed to me, so I can't turn it away. But
I want to say that's a dope cover so bad, but he looked too much like Jared Leto, so I can't.
Right. That's man.
I
If
can't.
it's been like
That's CM Punk.
I take him. I would be okay
Yeah,
with
I'd
him.
take
If
him
it was,
too.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
You could say Ed Norton Jr. now, take him over doggone
Man.
Jared Leto.
Anybody. That's it for me though. That's all I got for right now. That's all. You know, all the other cool covers I found out. I showed y'all on a Facebook message I found going through while I was cataloging the Armored Spider-Man and Venom Lethal Enforcer #1. All them. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I've actually cut a haul video, but I do have a few books I did not show in my
You
haul
done
video.
cut like 4 haul videos this week
I
alone.
know, right?
Fuck up.
Well,
The mute button over there.
Just saying.
All
We
right.
on number 9 and you got
First
5 of
off,
them.
I got this book. I'm gonna show it. I got this. This is A-OK for me to Xavier. Batman: The Return #1. Yo dusty ass.
It's gonna be 2 years before I get it.
And then we've got Annihilation Conquest Wraith.
That's sick.
We've got a book that me and Larry got the other day at Dr. Knows. This is a book that's actually kind of up there, and I was really shocked that when I was digging, I found this book, and I actually paid like $6 for it or something like that. And it's a Wonder Woman number 49, and it's the Neil Adams variant. And so, mint condition. So this will be getting slapped.
He should have just grabbed the ass, like,
Al, I was saying if he would have been holding it, Shan would have bought it.
And then the big one, Larry, shout out to you, man. I know you're gonna be like that dirty Joker. I should have got it, but I was digging and Larry pulled it out and said, "Hey, man, you might want to get this." And I didn't think about it at the time, and I said, "Well, let me see what the price is." And when I saw the price, I said, "Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and pick that up, and we won't even think about it." And so, Ultimate Fallout number 3, the Jurjevich variant, for that, $15 measly. So I said, you know what? I'll do that. Shut up, Shannon.
Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, because we said it in the group too.
Shut up. And that is it for that. And of course, you have to watch the haul videos here with the comic haul and round table discussion. That will be popping up this week. And Xavier, what you got over there, brother?
Well, the only 2 books that I haven't cataloged, I got this right here for $2.
I've always liked that Batman cover book.
Got it $2 at prime time. And
price to sell.
And I went ahead and got this one because Al got the one that I wanted, so I went back and got this one right here.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's all right.
Oh, so the one Al got is a variant.
I think both of them. It's 3 different covers.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So you had this one,
and then the one I got. The other one is ugly though, man.
Yeah, the one where they in a circle or something. That oval look like a bathroom mirror.
That like something in a kindergarten class.
It looked like Pier 1 imports.
Shannon said, "Get off the Hot Wheels, man. Get up off the Hot Wheels." All right, that is it for everybody here on the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. I want to say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Last night we had 3 hours. Tonight we are at 2 hours. We put in 5 hours of broadcasting between the channel from Sean and ourselves. If you missed last night's hip hop show, you missed a treat. So make sure y'all head over to Sean's channel and Stay Pub 1983 and check out that hip hop conversation last night. We had a really good one.
You had me listening to some more Little Brother and that foreign exchange, man. I was like, oh,
hey, old school Little Brother is where it's at.
Yeah.
Yep. See, that's what I'm saying. Just that easy. We get talking about hip hop, man. So Sean is gonna be putting together an old school R&B one next. That was gonna be real good.
Woo.
Yeah. And so we'll probably get Shannon. We'll try to get Shannon on that with one of his leopard print suits from the 70s. One of his butterfly collars.
Oh, wear his Shalimar suit.
Yeah.
It's just a dead giveaway.
Yep. And also before we go, 2 things I want to mess with Derek. I see Derek said, "Oh, I went up to Dave's today." So see, y'all trying to see he's turned into. See, I told you, Dave, man. You go to Dave, you gonna come up with a deal. And last but not least, we want to wish Sean a happy birthday, man. Sean had a birthday this week.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Happy birthday from the Comic Hall Roundtable discussion to you, my friend.
Thanks, man. It was a fun week, and that show. I still don't forget what Big Will said. He turned 37. Like, what do you think about death coming? I was like, what the hell?
I was like, wow. When you said that, I was like, wow, that's brutal, that boy.
That's brutal. But yeah, it was so much fun on that show, and I have a blast with this community, man. I have a blast with you guys, and eventually I'm probably gonna put a video together to send to you, Matt, to post it on the show. So
all right, sweet. All right. Well, that is it. I want to say everybody, thanks for joining us. Everybody in the chat, Tommy Scads, man, it was good to connect this week, man, and see you in the chat, man. That's a good friend of ours from years
long time.
Long time, man. I mean, he was the original T-Mobile master. Yeah, I know you're laughing. And I want to say shout out to G for coming through tonight. Looks like I'll probably be up tonight watching G. If not, I'll catch it in the morning. G is a midnight router boy. And
Yeah.
make sure y'all check him out, man. He has some good stuff over there. G shows off some of the sickest covers, man, that I think I've ever seen. His covers, man, are just absolutely nuts. And Will, thanks for coming through. Remo poked his head in tonight.
He still got y'all on retainer. He still
Want to give a shout out to Kevs for coming through, and Larry was probably tied up, couldn't get in, and who that came through. Everybody, man.
Barbarian Kung Fu.
Barbarian Kung Fu. Everybody came through tonight, man. And want to say thanks once again. Make sure you tell a friend, tell everyone, like, share, and subscribe to the Comment Hall Roundtable Discussion. For me, Matt Odom, for Chris, for Xavier, for Al, and stay pumped. We are out. You all have a great night, and we'll catch you on the bounce. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.